Welcome to A Stride Above podcast, where our commitment to excellence in equine health and athletic performance unites us. Join your host, Dr. Alberto Rullan, as we trot through the essential topics that matter most to you and your equine family members. With over 15 years of experience in equine sports medicine and rehabilitation, Dr. Rullan is dedicated to navigating you through the latest innovations and essential insights in horse health. Together, we'll ensure that you and your horses always remain a stride above the rest.
Hey, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about what to do to recover a horse after an event. The absolute most important thing in order to learn how to recover your horse is to learn how to prepare your horse. So we have to make sure, first of all, that the horse is in great athletic condition, that the horse do proper warm-ups, that the horse has been preparing appropriately for that particular event. So now, let's assuming everything before the show was perfect. Everything was handy-dandy, proper conditioning, no injuries, no illness. Now, what to do after the horse show? The first thing to do, palpate your horse. Palpate all the joints. Make sure there's no swelling. Palpate the tendons. Make sure there's no pain. Palpate the back. Palpate the croup. Palpate the neck. Make sure the horse has no pain, right? Then you have to think after the show, you have to know your horse. You know, okay, how hard did that horse work for me during that show, during that event, during the competition? How hard did the horse work? As a trainer, as a rider, as an owner, you know, hey, this horse gave it 110, 120%. Or you can tell, hey, you know, he was about 75%. Extremely important to know what are your limits of your horse before the show. In other episodes, we have talked about heart rate, respiratory rate. We have talked about how to monitor all these parameters, right? So if your horse worked to the maximum, you know that the horse is going to need some sort of rest. And it depends on the horse. I know horses that 1 day of rest will be enough. I know horses that need 2 days. I know horses that need a week. Every horse is different. I always like cooling down the horse after the show, right after the show, cooling the horse down with a nice walk until the heart rate cools down, respiration comes down to normal. Then after that, obviously proper drinking, proper water, and proper nutrition. The horse goes back to the stall. Please do not put hot, sweaty, heart rate elevated, extremely high respiration in a stall right after the show. We don't do that. I seldom see this done, but once in a while I'll see it done. The next day, depending on how the horse is feeling, I go for a walk or a paddock. Every horse is different. Then after that, you can start riding again. Many horses in great athletic potential, great athletic capabilities, 1-2 days, go back to start training normally again. One thing that we do is some horses have elevated some blood values for muscle, for example. So we do monitor on high level athletes. We monitor blood values. That way you know how the horse has been using those muscles. There's blood values for lactate. There's blood values for something called CPK. They're muscle enzymes that we can monitor to see how is the horse doing. Check electrolytes. And obviously you get to get your veterinarian involved in all this, right? That would be, I usually do that with very high level athletes that are fine tuning. We treat equine sports just like professional athletes. When I was a student, I was a amateur athlete, right? So I used to exercise and train. I had a little trainer that helped me out, not to compare with the professional football players that get their blood drawn, professional trainers, oxygen treatment, proper nutrition, designed by a nutritionist. The same thing happened with horses. If you have an amateur horse, you might not be at the level of doing blood after a show, or doing oxygen after the show, or doing IV fluids after the show, etc. Now, if your horse is at that level, or you want it to be, or you think it is at that level, then you can do it. The more you do, the better, obviously. We can do fluid replacement after the show. That would be with electrolytes IV. We do oral supplementation, plus we can do IV supplementation of electrolytes such as calcium, potassium, magnesium, etc. intravenously. We can also do vitamins in order to help them come faster. We also can do oxygen therapy. High-level athletes, their muscles work so hard, and we put them in the oxygen hyperbaric chamber. That will replenish all that oxygen that they lost, increases stem cell production, and increases healing. Now, these, of course, are very high-level athletes, or horses that maybe are intermediate level who need to go back to training right away because they have some important competitions to go. So those are very advanced modalities. You don't need to have all these advanced modalities. Of course, if you want your horse to have it, the better for the horse. So in summary, we have a competition, we monitor, we know how hard the horse work, heart rate, respiratory rate, palpate all the joints. The next day, the horse walks, go to a paddock. The next day, depending how hard it work, it can go to the paddock and walk again, or can go back to riding. Sometimes we have horse shows that require 3 days, right? 3 or 4 days of back-to-back performances. During those back-to-back performances, I do like to replenish these horses with good electrolytes, sometimes IV fluids as well, and then get 2 or 3 days off. Then go back, walking, the next walking, trotting, cantering, and then go back to full work. If you have any specific questions about this, and you want to get into granular details, I'll be happy to help you out. Come to our center and we can fine-tune your horse's ability, maximize his potential, and get him to a very high level of athletic ability. Our phone number is 352-307-3690, 352-307-3690. Call us and come anytime.